You know what is really strange? Every one of us has met that woman who looks like she has the most amazing social life. Her Instagram is full of perfect photos, she is always hanging out with different people, and every weekend there are new faces around her. But if you look closer, something does not add up. She has no old friends, nobody from her childhood, nobody who has stuck around for years. When you first become friends with her, everything feels incredible. She gives you tons of attention, and you think this is going to be something special. Then out of nowhere, she disappears. Messages ignored, calls unanswered, sometimes blocked completely. You wonder what you did wrong, but nothing makes sense. Today, I am going to show you why this keeps happening. This is not coincidence. This is narcissistic behavior, and recognizing it early can save you from serious emotional pain. When a narcissistic woman meets you, she is not thinking about building a real connection. She is scanning you like a product in a store. What can you offer her? Maybe you have social status she wants to borrow. Maybe you know people who can help her career. Maybe you just make her look good in photos. The moment you stop being useful, you become invisible to her. Have you ever noticed how she only calls when she needs something? A favor, a ride, someone to vent to about her problems. But when you need her, she is suddenly too busy. This is not friendship. This is transaction. And the scary part is how natural she makes it feel in the beginning. You genuinely believe she cares until you realize you were just another tool in her collection. Remember how amazing everything felt when you first met her? She texted you constantly. She wanted to hang out all the time. She told you secrets and made you feel like the most important person in her world. That phase is called love bombing, and it is a trap. Narcissistic people do this to hook you emotionally. They create this intense bond super fast, so you get attached before seeing their true colors. But here's the thing about love bombing. It always ends. Once she knows you are hooked, the effort stops. The texts slow down. The excitement fades. You start chasing the version of her you met in the beginning, but that person was never real. It was just bait. Watch what happens when someone else in the group gets good news. Maybe another friend got promoted. Maybe someone shared an achievement. A normal person would celebrate with them. But a narcissistic woman? She either changes the subject back to herself or finds a way to make that person feel small. She might say something that sounds like a compliment, but has a hidden insult inside it. Or she just goes quiet and cold until the attention returns to her. Friendships require celebrating each other. But for her, any spotlight on someone else feels like a threat. She needs to be the star always, and anyone who outshines her becomes an enemy. Here is something wild. No matter how things end between you two, somehow you will always be painted as the bad guy. Even if she ghosted you without explanation, she will tell everyone that you were toxic or jealous or dramatic. She rewrites history to protect her image. Why? Because narcissistic people cannot accept responsibility. Admitting fault would damage their perfect self-image. So instead, they create stories where they are always the victim and everyone else is the problem. If you talk to her ex-friends, you will hear the exact same story. They all got discarded and blamed. The pattern repeats because she never changes. Narcissistic women get bored extremely quickly. What excites them is the chase, the newness, the validation from someone fresh. Once a friendship becomes stable and comfortable, it loses value to them. There is no more thrill. You are no longer new and exciting. So they start looking for the next person who can give them that rush again. This is why their friend groups constantly rotate. They are not building relationships. They are collecting experiences and moving on when the excitement fades. For them, people are like toys, fun for a while, then tossed aside when something shinier appears. Ever notice how there is always some fight happening in her circle? Two of your mutual friends stop talking, and when you ask what happened, somehow she was right in the middle of it. She has this talent for twisting words. She will tell person A that person B said something mean about them. Then she goes to person B and shares a totally different story. Before you know it, those two are beefing, and she is playing peacemaker, acting all innocent like she had nothing to do with it. Why does she do this? Because chaos keeps her relevant. When everyone is fighting, they come to her to vent. They need her to pick sides. They give her attention. The second things get peaceful and everyone is getting along fine without her, she feels invisible. So she plants little seeds of doubt and watches relationships crumble. Then she sits back and enjoys being the only constant in a mess she created. You forgot to reply to her text for a few hours because you were busy, or maybe you could not make it to something she invited you to. Normal friends would understand. Life gets hectic, but not her. She goes completely silent. Days pass. You text her asking if everything is okay. Nothing. You see her posting on social media, so you know she is active. She is just choosing to ignore you. This is her punishment. You did something she did not like, so now you have to suffer and come crawling back. She wants you to feel anxious, to overthink what you did wrong, to apologize even when you are not sure what you are apologizing for. This keeps her in control. It trains you to prioritize her above everything else, because you never want to face that cold silence again. Healthy friendships talk through problems, but she uses silence as a weapon to keep you in line. You are going through something genuinely painful. Family issues, heartbreak, failing at something important. You open up to her thinking she will be there for you like you have been there for her countless times. But her response is so detached, it hurts. She either brushes it off with something like, everything happens for a reason, or she listens for like 2 minutes before flipping the conversation to her own problems. She cannot sit with your pain because she does not actually feel it. Empathy requires putting yourself in someone else's shoes and caring about their emotions. But narcissistic people do not function that way. Your feelings are just noise to them unless it somehow affects their life. She might fake concern if other people are watching because it makes her look like a good friend. But when it is just you two, that mask comes off. You walk away from those conversations feeling even more alone than before, because the person you trusted could not care less. So now you know the pattern, you have seen the signs. And I am willing to bet while listening to this, someone specific came to your mind. Maybe it was that girl from college who dropped you out of nowhere. Maybe it is someone still in your life right now, and you have been making excuses for her behavior. But here's the part nobody talks about. Why do we keep going back? Why do we give these people second, third, fourth chances, even after they have shown us exactly who they are? Is it because we think we can fix them? Or is it because we are afraid of being alone? And here is an even bigger question. What if you are the one doing some of these things? What if people have been dropping you and you never understood why? Can a narcissist even recognize they are narcissistic? Or are they always blind to it? Think about this. If she has no long-term friends and everyone eventually leaves, does she ever sit alone at night and wonder why? Or does she genuinely believe the problem is everyone else, and she has just been unlucky with people her whole life? One more thing that keeps me up at night. If you call her out on this behavior, if you show her this video or try to explain what she is doing, will she actually self-reflect? Or will you just become another name on her list of people who wronged her? Drop your thoughts below. Have you dealt with someone like this? Did you stay or did you walk away? And for those who walked away, how long did it take before you stopped blaming yourself? Let's talk about it, because I have a feeling a lot of you have stories that need to be heard.